What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Homie Hangout, where we help others move in excellence. And I know that there's some people that are waiting on this SPM video, right? Shout out Rapping Corridos and everybody else that asked me about it. I apologize. I'll tell you, if these fools from Dope House and some of these specific individuals that I'm going to be talking about, particularly a guy from Northern California, uh, would stop switching gears and changing up what they're talking about, then the video I recorded last night, I could have posted this morning. But there's new information and more people talking. So now I got to circle back and redo the whole damn thing. You guys will get it this week. But here I have an update of sorts, a follow up, right? And I got paperwork, right? Of course, there's paperwork. If I say there's paperwork, there's paperwork. I did a video a few days ago, maybe a week ago. A young lady named Hailey Nieto lost her life in Reno at the hands of this dude, Todd Tonnochy, who was recently found guilty of second-degree homicide and a bunch of other charges. He should have been found guilty of first-degree homicide. You guys know I'm the criminal defense guy, and not just on YouTube, right? The legal work in case after case after case for defense attorneys, federal cases, immigration cases, state cases, gang cases in particular. That's me pushing, lobbying for legislation and reform, sentencing reform, conditions of confinement reform. That's me. And that is still me, and that will always be me. That does not mean that everybody should be walking the streets, and that does not mean that there should not be accountability. And this whole situation really bothers me. It bothered me when I told the story. Quick little recap. This fool, originally from South San Francisco, he used to go by Drifter. He was from 500 Block in South City. He was a northerner in the streets, did a little time, rock with the fellas in there, big time level 2 killer. And then there was a bunch of people hit by firearms in South San Francisco, like 10, 15 years ago. And Todd Tonnochy, aka Drifter at the time, he now goes by TJ, or he's been going by TJ or by Do Dirt, which is a stupid name. Since he's been in Reno. Prior to being in Reno, apparently he was in Concord running around with Northerners too. So there's a lot of people that I feel like have a lot of questions to answer. And I hope that those questions get asked in the circles where they need to be asked. But that's we'll get to that. But so this dude, he ratted on his whole neighborhood, his childhood friends, told on all of them for the shooting, everything else. And they wound up getting, hundreds and hundreds of months and whatnot in prison. But that was not a life-changing moment for him in terms of maybe I ain't really into all this gang stuff anymore. I guess he went out to Concord. He was hiding out in Concord for a while, claiming to be a northerner. Again, like, you guys need to check your circles, man. And then he at some point came out here to Reno. I hope that song I heard recently when they was talking about how Chito was out here in Reno and they was about to line him up with the barber, but then he moved back. I hope you wasn't talking about messing with this dude. Anyway, so he been out here in Reno running amok doing his thing and ended this girl. So that video explains a lot. This video explains more, okay, about his past. And again, he should have got first degree. And he actually said, and I have the paperwork, there's a bunch of stuff here. Look, man, we got this, we got this, we got this. We got stuff. We got stuff. And I'm not going to read every word of everything, of course. I'm just going to point out some of the highlights. And I'll probably put this stuff on my Patreon. I've been owing the Patreon some stuff. And so I'll probably put that stuff over there. The link will be in the description. There will also be a link to the GoFundMe for Hailey Nieto. Thankfully, thank God, they have been able to raise a large amount of money. No amount of money will bring their daughter back. No amount of money, the parents, the grandparents now, right? Hailey's parents are going to be raising her 2 kids, the 2 kids that this dude threatened to end the life of several times. And I have it on, right here. I'm going to show you in his words, what he was saying. So when you wonder like, oh, why was this girl with this guy? First of all, she's 18. He was damn near 40. And secondly, there's a story to tell. And so let's get into it a little bit. This is from January 2020, okay? Santos Arturo Zarate. I believe he's from the Concord area, Concord, Pleasant Hill, somewhere around there. Curious about this individual. But nonetheless, him and Todd Tonnochy, a.k.a. TJ, I guess, in recent years, got popped. right? They got popped on January 20th, 2020 at the interstate or at the Interstate Route 80 and Robb Drive westbound within the county of Washoe, state of Nevada. My guess is they might have been heading out to California based on the area. But regardless, count 1, possession of a controlled substance, and that was heroin. Count 2, possession cocaine. Count 3, possession meth. Count 4, possession tree. Count 5, possession Xanax. Count 6, felon in possession of a firearm for Santos. Not to be left out, count 7, felon in possession of a firearm for Tonnochy. Look what his priors are. He got the assault with a deadly weapon out of San Mateo County. That's back when he was drifter for 500 block. Then he caught inflicting corporal injury resulting in a traumatic condition out of Sacramento. I don't know what that case was, but definitely a felony. And then he's got the racketeering conspiracy and use of a firearm in furtherance of a crime of violence in the Northern District of California. That's when, again, he snitched on a dude from 500 block and C Street because he didn't want to do a year violation. And then count, where we at? 8, having a trafficking quantity of meth. 9, intent to sell of the heroin. 10, intent to sell of the coke. 11, intent to sell of the meth. 12, intent to sell of the tree. 13, intent to sell the Xanax. 14, and this is all relevant, right? I'm going to show you guys why. 14, trying to destroy or conceal evidence. 15, burglary tools, right? Can't be a good tweaker without burglary tools. What did I say? It was 15? Okay, 16, driving under the influence for Santos. He was under the influence of heroin, cocaine, meth, all kinds of stuff. Probably what they did was do like a hair sample or something, and that's just all the drugs in the system. And then drug paraphernalia, right? Glass pipe with the intent to ingest, inhale, or otherwise. Failure to slow down, driving without a license, no proof of insurance. Being a habitual criminal. Todd Tonnochy is a habitual criminal in that the said defendant has, prior to the date alleged and the other counts of this information, previously been convicted of the following criminal offenses. 2007, he was convicted in the Superior Court of California, San Mateo, assault with a deadly weapon. It's a felony. 2009, he caught the inflicting corporal injury resulting in a traumatic condition. 2016, he caught the RICO. It was after 2016. But anyways, that just means he was telling for a long time. So that habitual offender thing in March of 2020, that's a life sentence in the state of Nevada. Right? You get a life sentence when you're a habitual offender. This dude certainly qualifies as a habitual offender. Do you think that he got a life sentence in 2020? Well, obviously not. Obviously not, because he executed this young lady in 2023, I believe it was. This fool got 3 years. He got 3 years. Now, I understand the virus, right? If you look at where the world was in 2020, there was a virus. A lot of people were getting slaps on the wrist for offenses, okay? This is a big damn offense. This is a lot. So he was let out. Had he done his time for this, the way you would expect somebody to do their time, not the way, like character-wise, but had he been sentenced to this in a fashion that's reasonable given what he was caught with, right? Look at, so it's like 2:30 in the morning. Dispatch came, they rear-ended a car is what it is, on an off-ramp. And so the trooper pulls up, right? And look, he didn't have a ton of everything, but still, all the shit he had. And at the time, he had a warrant, right? Because it says I conducted a vehicle inventory, didn't locate any other paraphernalia. I was contacted by the U.S. Marshal's Office, who confirmed that Tonnochy is affiliated with the Norteno gang in Concord, California, is a convicted felon. Upon further investigation, more items were found in the bushes where he was walking. Again, man, you guys that are out here running around the streets, which I'm, a lot of you ain't gonna be watching this video, but for those that do, for those of you guys that know somebody that's running around in the streets, people can come on YouTube and talk all high and mighty about whatever they want. Okay, myself included, anybody can. And in particular, I want to talk about the Northern. Okay, and Homeboys are checking paperwork, and it's a discipline program, and it's a tight program, run a tight ship, and all this other stuff. Okay. All that shit sounds good. And I'm not saying that it's not true, but it is not foolproof. You got cats like this running around with gang members in the streets when he's a federal informant. And he has a history of violent conflicts with women, hitting women with bottles, stabbing them in the leg. I told you guys that in the last video. He's been doing this shit his whole fucking life. And yet you dudes kick it with cats like this. And not a lot of it. This is not saying that this is how Northerners get down, because it's not. I've spent the better part of my life as one in and out of prison. And this is entirely unacceptable. But I'm just saying, when you're running around and you meet somebody, man, that's the homie, quote unquote, right? That's the homeboy. And he's dressed right, and he's wearing the right clothes. He got the right flag. He got the right tattoos. So you make some assumptions that he's built like you or he's just like you. No. You never know. There's no reason this dude should have been comfortable cruising around Northern California, rocking with gang members and engaged in criminal activity after the shit that he did. Come on now. And nothing good ever comes from that. Look at him. So he gets caught on this case, and he only does his little 3 years. He gets caught again, and I think I don't know for sure because I haven't talked to the parents. I just went digging around and came up with some stuff, but I think let me close it. That it was during his incarceration for this that he got in correspondence with young Hailey. They started writing when he was in jail. That much I know. And I think it was while he was doing time for this. But so then what happens? They get busted. This is March 10th, right? 2023. They get busted in a stolen car. Okay, March 9th, 2023, 1 o'clock in the morning. They pull over this car because the license plate reader says that it's stolen. So they pull into the 7-Eleven on Grove Street. Historically, a lot of Southsiders in that area too, so I don't know, it's kind of interesting. But nonetheless. And car comes out stolen. Okay. Car stolen. There's also a bag. One has about 3.5 grams of meth, right? The other one has about 9. There's also a scale in the car. There's some clear white baggies. Hailey is captured on the rear passenger facing camera, moving a large bag of presumptive meth from her right pants pocket area to her bra. During the inventory search, they found a digital scale. You know who was driving this vehicle? Driving this vehicle was Todd Tonnochy. Driving this stolen car was Todd Tonnochy. Right? Where's it say that at? Told the driver to turn off the vehicle. I observed the vehicle be occupied by 2. The driver, Todd Tonnochy, and his girlfriend in the right front passenger seat, Hailey Nieto. Guess what happens? Todd Tonnochy's like, I don't know nothing, but it's on her. It's on her. It's her shit. So Hailey gets arrested. And that's not unusual. You know, a dude riding around with a female take the rap, this and that. But if you look at the circumstances of this, and once I paint the more full picture for you guys will understand. So he skates. He's a rat. He's a snake. He's an abuser. He's driving a Stolo that's got dope and a scale in it when he has a huge felony record, and somehow he walks away. She, however, does not. Right? She is transported to the Washoe County jail. She was scheduled to show up to court. Right? She winds up getting out. She was scheduled to go to court for this case the day that her body was found dismembered in a duffel bag. I don't believe in coincidences, really. I'll put it like that. This is the criminal complaint for her, right? She was charged with possession, receiving, and transfer of a stolen vehicle. A vehicle she wasn't driving. A vehicle she was the passenger in. And then possession of less than 14 grams of meth. And then paraphernalia, right? This is what I want to show you guys. Where's them on here? 18. So Todd Tonnochy, this is show you guys this document. Like I said, man, I'm gonna post this on the Patreon. Declaration in support. It's kind of hard to read. The writing is light, but declaration in support of criminal complaint and warrant of arrest. State of California, Washoe County. This is a declaration by a guy from the sheriff's office, and it essentially outlines everything that happened. Okay, starts on March 23rd. They get a phone call at around 4 o'clock. They found a bag with a human body stuffed inside. So they go find that bag. They start talking to people in the area, right off Red Meadow Trailhead, okay, dirt road, out there by Cold Springs. I believe it's called Cold Springs. While they're out there, people are pulling up. And then it comes on the news and people start calling like, man, I've seen vehicles in the area. There's an abandoned vehicle in the area, this and that. So they start getting some leads. And because of the abandoned vehicle in the area, that also kind of points them in a direction. And then they're able to identify the body of Hailey in the car. And her next of kin's able to say, and this is all in this document, right? Her next of kin's able to say, hey, man, she was over there in the Cal Neva area. If you guys familiar with Reno, it's not a great area of Reno, Nevada. All right. I said, man, that's where she was staying over there. So they start getting at the cops and looking around. Cops know this dude. So they connect the dots to the hotel. The hotel that or apartment that she was staying in was in her name and was paid through for some series of days. I think like 10 days. And there's video cameras in the hallway, right? So they start looking, and it comes out that actually Reno PD has video cameras across the street as well. So there's plenty of recorded cameras and stuff of who's walking in, who's walking out, who's doing what. That's how they're able to build the case. And all these little blacked out stuff is the names, but then also they're able to, in room numbers and stuff, but they're able to identify a lot of the people walking in and out of these buildings. They see Hailey, right? 16:37 hours was the last time she was seen on video prior to being located deceased. 16:53, distinct gunshot followed by a male subject yelling, "Oh my God." 1 minute later, he's wearing a red and white SF and exits the room. Anyway, so they're watching him right on camera. This is after the fact, of course, but they're able to go back on camera and see a whole lot of stuff. Now, Todd had been in and out of the county jail in Washoe County. He was programming as a northerner in the Washoe County jail. He was communicating with people in the Washoe County jail. He was kicking in the streets with people that he was with in prison. I wonder if those people in prison knew what his background was. I doubt it. People gonna know now, though. People gonna know now. You ain't hiding this time, my guy. So while he was in the county jail, right? This is where we're getting down to. While he's in the county jail, he's communicating. And he's communicating with Hailey. And he's sending messages to her. And there's a record of those messages. Okay? There's a record of those messages because you got to use the smart communication system. So in addition to the phone calls made to Todd Tonnochy by inmates incarcerated within the Washoe County Detention Facility, detectives located written communications that Todd Tonnochy exchanged with Hailey while he was incarcerated. Todd was arrested on November 16th, 2022 by the U.S. Marshal Service for a probation violation. He was subsequently released from the Washoe County Detention Facility on January 27th, 2023. Detectives reviewed the smart communication messages exchanged between Todd Tonnochy and I know that name to be Hailey Nieto, and during their review, they located the following messages of relevance. Todd T.J. Tonnochy. January 3rd. I'm beating his ass if I find out who it is. And if I ever see you, I'm going to beat your ass too. I ain't playing. The way you did me is wrong. You my op. Avoid me because I'm beating you like a N-word. Hailey responds, are you threatening to kill my kids and I? Kill me, but not those babies. What the fuck? Todd, I swear to God, if you ain't home in the morning, they won't be on my list. So listen, this is this dude sending this from jail. Sending this from jail to Hailey. She's a teenager, man. I, Todd Tonnochy, swear on the soul of my dead baby sister, may she burn in hell if I lie. If you ain't home tonight by the time I call and you don't answer, then I'm walking away from you for good. I don't care what excuse you got. I won't accept no request, nothing. I'm done. Also, if I ever see you, and anytime I do, I will beat the dog shit out of you, and whoever you with will get it, including L and M. L and M are her children. She has a 2-year-old child and a roughly 9-month-old child. That's who he's talking about. He's talking about her children, including L and M. They will get it too. I ain't playing even a little. Whoever is around you will get it, including them, shit, especially them. I don't give a fuck. And I've been putting in work, fucking up lives and causing harm since before you was born. I mean, he ain't lying. So you should know that to bring you grief and to punish you, I'm so super effing serious. I would get at them for sure. I ain't got no remorse or conscience when it comes to doing some dirt. So if you ain't home by, let's say, 8 tonight, it's a full-blown wartime. I'm going to take that as you saying, F me, I'm a bitch and it's funk on sight. Well, I said, fuck you, you's a bitch. That I reserve for my enemies, because that's what you will be, my op. I mean that, real funk, to where if I see you, I'm spanking shit. You and whoever you with, I'm letting it blow at you. F you and whoever you with. I'm giving you and everybody you know the blues. Test me if you want. And that you effing on, he can't protect you, I promise. He gonna cut you off soon, watch. Not only that, but you will pay me my $850, I swear to God you will. If you ain't home tonight, then in 22 days, which is when he was set to be released. My sole purpose in life will be to destroy you. Nothing else in the world will matter to me. F jail, F being broke, F death, I don't give a fuck what it is. Nothing will mean shit to me as long as I can make you suffer. Your tears and your pain will bring me joy. And the best way to bring you pain is through L and M, your children, her children. I know what they look like and where they stay. Ain't no protecting that. I ain't your baby's daddy. If I say it, it's a done deal. I can send goons tomorrow, but I want to do it myself. So plain and simple, be home. This is your absolute last chance. Mind you, this is a motherfucker sitting in the county jail on a violation with his boxers on a bunch, throwing a temper tantrum because this teenager that he ain't got no business dealing with to begin with is, I guess, not home to answer his calls or whatever. The fuck. Then I'm going to dedicate my life to effing you off, starting with them, L and M. I'm a professional gang member, and I have mastered the art of being a gang member. Man, you's a rat from the pit of hell. So I promise you, if you ain't home and don't answer, I will bring so much pain and suffering to you, starting with them, because they ain't innocent. You made me love them. But that don't sound like love. And they are guilty by association. Once that is done, every single time I see you, I'm beating the dog shit out of you, taking everything you got. Your money, your phone, jewelry, shoes, all that. I really will take your shoes. Think I'm effing around if you want. Every time I see you, I'm taking you for everything. Don't make me be that. I will, and it won't be safe for you and yours. He goes on and on to send her these messages. Okay? So, that's how they found him. He kept the phone. They got a ping warrant authored through the Reno Justice Court. Started getting pinged. They were able to chase it. Were able to search rooms. During the search warrant, they found additional evidence of his guilt in her death. So they start talking to people, and the people that they talk to's names are redacted. I didn't redact them. They were redacted in the copy that I received. I understand why. This person had known Todd Tonnochy for about a month. Knows him as Do Dirt or TJ. He knew Todd through the drug world. Saw Todd being abusive physically and verbally with the girl. One time he witnessed him strangle her, and he had to push him off of her. Controls everything she does. Right? Where she can sit, where she's allowed to go, who she's allowed to communicate with, everything else. So he talked about it. Talked about how Todd had told him this and that, right? Went to meet with Todd. They went to a motel north of the Motor Lodge. This complex was described as a studio-type complex. Meeting occurred on the second story. The room belonged to an old man who was the father of a Norteno friend of Todd's. The Norteno friend was described as a chubby Mexican with glasses and a goatee. There was also a pregnant female in the room. Todd didn't really talk about the details in that space. So I said, man, this dude was allowed to kick it and run around with folk. I firmly believe that the individuals did not know his background. But individuals were watching him be rough with this girl and allowing him, in essence, to do so, right? So he winds up giving the room away. He's got guns. He's got everything else. He wound up getting in in a high speed with the cops the day after he had killed Hailey, but before I think they had, or even after they had put the body, but the cops didn't catch him. He's known as TJ. They met while incarcerated in the Nevada Department of Corrections. Him and Hailey were in a dating relationship. They started dating when TJ was incarcerated. TJ was extremely abusive. TJ, meaning this dude, Todd, extremely abusive. He would beat her. He had previously heard TJ tell her she needed to go home because he was going to kill her. TJ also separately told this dude who's talking that he was going to kill Hailey someday. When TJ would beat Hailey, Lucas said it didn't matter. Oh, Lucas might be the name. Said it didn't matter who was around. They just needed to mind their own business. Told Detective Fish that TJ would frequently take Hailey into the bathroom to beat her. TJ had previously told somebody that he had taken classes while in prison on how to abuse and manipulate women as a Norteno. Let me fucking assure you right now that there are no goddamn classes in the state of California Department of Corrections, classes, schooling, that this is how you abuse and manipulate women. That it's just not true. Okay, I haven't been in prison in a long time. But this dude is just the height of a scumbag, man. But it's him. That's how he's running around. He's flexing and bragging and all this other stuff. Killed a kid, man. Killed an 18-year-old girl. And I'm gonna do some future content about let's leave this up here. Do some future content about Hailey Nieto herself. Right? Obviously, she had made some poor choices. Okay? Everybody makes poor choices at 18 years old. And I think particularly as men, as men, sometimes it's easy to look at young women's poor choices because in some ways they tend to look a little different than men's poor choices, right? And be judgmental. This girl was scared. Oh, last off, there's a protection agreement. I thought I had it on here. I'll show it to you guys just to make clear that it's here. I think it's this. Yes. So, person served Todd Tonnochy, Washoe County Detention Facility on Park Boulevard. That's the county jail. 7/3/2023. Obviously, that's not July. I think that's March 7th, 2023. But so she had served him with a protection order. Hailey had. And you know, and obviously it it didn't work out. She's a young girl. She's in the streets to a degree. Right? There's this older dude. He's got all the tattoos. He's got the prison record. He talks real tough. He's always got guns. He's always got drugs. And he's around other people that boost up this idea in her mind, right? She's 18. Earlier than that, she's 17, she's 16. She was a minor. This to reinforce this idea in her head that this is a dangerous individual. And not only is he dangerous, he has a community of dangerous people around him. And so what options does she have? Right? And she's got her own struggles that she's going through. And I guess it's easy for guys sometimes to sit back, well, I'd have done this, or I'd have done that. Or it's easy for women that haven't been in these situations. I'd have done this, or I'd have done that. She was in a bad spot. And I'll tell you this, man, she didn't deserve to die in that room. She didn't need to die in that room. I don't think that she died in that room on accident. He's gone to trial. He was found guilty of second degree. He wasn't found guilty of first degree. Based on what he was found guilty of, high likelihood he gets sentenced to the rest of his life in prison. My hope is that his time in prison is as uncomfortable as possible. I'll be very honest about that. As I said in the beginning, I'm the dude that sticks up for the incarcerated folks. I'm the dude that sticks up for folks that are getting overcharged for things and whatnot. And I will continue to do that. That's me. But that doesn't mean that there's not some people that need to be in prison. There are. This dude shouldn't have been out. He's a scum of the earth, man, the lowest of the low. I think any man that preys on women is a dirtbag. That preys on children is a dirtbag. You threaten somebody's children. Come on now. So just on a moral compass, this dude is on the wrong side of history on everything. And then on this gang shit, I'm a professional gang member, this and that. Man, you're a professional snitch. You're a rat. You're an informant. You work with the federal government to turn in your neighborhood friends so that you didn't do a probation violation. Fuck out of here. You know, and apparently the people around him didn't know that. Maybe some of them didn't care. Maybe some of them got similar backwards. I don't fucking know. It's just story really bothers me. And I don't want to make this video any longer. It's already 30 minutes and it's getting posted later in the day. It really bothers me. Man, the girl was 18. And I already know what some people are going to say watching videos like this and hearing stuff like this and reading papers like this. Save that shit. She was 18. And she didn't deserve to be killed in that room. And this dude's a monster. He's a piece of shit from every possible way to view somebody. And like I said, you ain't gonna hide no more. That's what you're not gonna do. You know, all I do is speak facts over here, man. I tell the truth. You know, and I'll show you guys the receipts. So in the future, I don't know, maybe I would love to have Hailey's family on. You know, to talk about their daughter or their sister, you know, whatever the relationship is. I think there's lessons in here for young girls. And for guys, bro, check who you're around. Check who you're around. If you out here in the streets, check who the fuck you're around. And have some standards about yourself. Even if you are involved in a criminal element or whatever, okay. But this, come on, man. Fuck this dude and everybody that kicked it with him. And I'm out here in Reno. Get mad if you want to. Don't give a shit. You gonna stand on this dude's side? Yeah. Shit's ridiculous. The story really bothers me. And again, the GoFundMe link is in the thing. They got a lot of resources on that GoFundMe link, right? A lot more than probably people would expect. But because the father of Hailey watches the Bubba Love show, the radio show, it's been on for years. Like Bubba Love, he's been a radio host, morning show host for forever. And he called in and talked to them and they broadcasted and stuff. And so who knows, man? There might be some changes coming to the laws in Nevada too, and people like this ruin it for criminal justice reform. Because you say, hey, this dude should have been in prison, and he should have, and I agree. Most people aren't going to behave this way. You know, just to be fair. This dude is the abnormal, the anomaly, which doesn't do anything to bring Hailey back and doesn't mean he shouldn't be held accountable. But this dude is not a reflection of anybody or any groups or any gangs or anything else other than himself. And like I say, he's a piece of shit. So anyways, help others move with excellence. That's what homies do. Help yourself at the same time because you're worth it. Help your community because they need you. Stay tuned, man. Like I said, dropping content all day. This is October 9th, all month. This is October 9th, and I've had a video up every day, and this is no exception. And stick around. I'll get that SPM one, man. I promise. You guys stay tuned.